Hi, this is Bob Poole. Welcome to the Water Cooler Hangout. For over 40 years, I've been helping people like you grow and prosper. Please join me and guests like Seth Godin, Guy Kawasaki, Lauren Cordain, Beverly and Tim Walden, Phil Elmore, and more as we share real-life stories about sales, marketing, leadership, creativity, and current events. Need help in moving to the next level? Find out how others have done it by listening to the Water Cooler Hangout. Hi everyone, this is Bob Poole, and welcome to the Water Cooler Hangout. I'm here today with Monique Idemudia. Did I say that right?
Perfect. Wow. Yes.
How are you today, Monique?
I'm great. How are you doing, Bob?
I'm doing all right. You know, it's Christmas Eve here right now, and so you are the last interview I'm doing this year.
Oh, wow.
So anyways, Monique is the founder of Dragon Digital Marketing, which is a unique name. How'd you end up with the name Dragon Digital Marketing?
Yes, I definitely wanted the name digital marketing to be my company. So it's a descriptive name and people know when they're reading it at the first sight what it's all about is a digital marketing company, right?
Right.
And I put the name dragon in there as well, just because I love dragons. I'm fascinated by them and I like them. So yeah, it's a pretty unique name. So, and the logo is a little dragon too.
I saw that. So in fact, I think I read somewhere that you have a bearded dragon. Is that true?
That's right. Yes, I have a bearded dragon as a pet as well.
Uh,
So super obsessed with dragons.
how large do they get, by the way?
I think at like they can be like 20, 25 inches.
Serious, yeah.
But it's the entire body length. So the body itself is smaller, but they have like a long
Long
tail.
tail.
So the entire body length is that long, but the bearded dragon itself is just like half of that size.
Yeah, very cool.
Just
Very.
tail, yeah.
You are the first person I've met that has a bearded dragon, so
Wow.
that's interesting. So, how did you? You're in St. Petersburg, Florida. I should mention that, and
Yeah.
your company specializes in small business. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
All right. So, what made you want to get into small business consulting instead of like working for the Fortune 100?
Yes, I guess that's what most people's goals are. They want to work for the Fortune 100 and Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies, whatever. I went for small businesses. I think it's nicer to work with small business owners and have that personal contact, and you get to see that you're making a greater impact, and it's just a nicer, way of working. And I like the communications and everything, so I found my niche there.
Yeah. Well, I can. Well, here we are working from home and doorbells are ringing. I just heard a doorbell
Right.
ring in the background. One of the things about COVID is that you get to have things like dogs and cats and doorbells in the background. So back to small business, though. Well, I agree with you. As a matter of fact, about 10 years ago, I think it was, maybe 15, I had one of the top consultants in the world, at least he calls himself that. He asked me if I was crazy. And I said, why? And he says, because you're specializing these days in small business. Why would you do that? You used to, work with Fortune 100 companies and even larger. And my answer was what you just gave. That's true. I mean, I love working close to people. You can get instant results.
Yes.
You don't have to sit in board meetings with, five attorneys and
Yes. It's nerve wracking. It's, so much harder to get the buy-in and to get, more budget, and everything. And yeah, the hierarchy and the communication chain, so to speak, everything that you have to consider, everything's a lot more formal. And yeah, it's for me personally, it's not as nice as people may think it would be to work with those larger companies. So yeah, I prefer small businesses.
yeah, good. So, how are you finding your clients these days with COVID going on?
Digital marketing. I focus very much on digital marketing myself as well, and I create a lot of content. And I focus on inbound marketing as well. So I try to be pretty much everywhere and be present there and have content that resonates with people and with my target audience. So I attract clients.
Okay, so when you say digital marketing, maybe we should describe what your definition is of digital marketing.
Yes. So digital marketing is just any type of marketing that uses digital technology. That can be offline as well as online. So offline digital marketing would be like TV marketing, radio marketing, digital billboards, like think the Times Square in New York, things like that. And then online marketing will be social media, your website, email marketing, marketing automation, all those kind of things.
So, are you finding people that never did digital marketing now this year suddenly they want to have an online marketing presence?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that happens a lot. So many people, like, there's a need for that right now. Many people didn't really focus on their online presence. Most businesses did have an online presence also before COVID to some degree. Like most businesses at least have like a Facebook page, simple things like that, or a website that they've neglected for a long time.
Yeah.
And now we're helping them to build on that and really improve it.
So, technology, though, is really changing consumer behavior, I think. Consumers today shop around. It's easy to search. So, you don't have that loyalty for brands and companies and even, people that we used to have. Customers really today, they're in control of the marketing, I think. I mean, what do you think?
Yes, that's right. Consumers are a lot more empowered than they used to be in the past. Yeah, they can be much more engaged and share and leave their reviews so people can read, and that influences new customers. And that's right. And especially in the pandemic, people are more willing to experiment and try out new things and give smaller businesses and new brands that they've never heard of before a chance to buy from them. So if you're at the right place at the right time, you can definitely find clients also now in this pandemic. So there's also opportunities. And like you said, everything is online. You can, with your cell phone, you have the whole world in your pocket. You can search for things and find exactly what you need. So if small businesses present themselves in the right places, they can get found and have the opportunity to compete with like the big online retailers like Target, Amazon, Walmart, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
if they, for example, appear in the search results as well.
So, since the customers are in charge these days, so how can you connect them today with your clients? I mean, I get what you're saying about being there and being online, but how do you connect them and build some loyalty? I've been wondering that myself a lot lately.
Oh, yeah. So you stay engaged and you always reach out and nurture also your existing customers and clients and provide value
Mhm.
and just encourage conversations, ask questions, get feedback, validate your ideas that you have for the future, and just, ask people like a human being, how's everything going? What are you struggling with the most right now? And just stay in touch and, yeah, keep on building that relationship and keep on delivering great results. The best thing that you can do is under promise, over deliver. And you'll get loyal customers and customers that really like you as the person behind the business, especially as a small business, because they have you as like the contact person. You're the face of the business. It's not as distant and
Mhm.
neutral like buying from a larger company.
So you said something there. I think I liked a lot. You said show them that you're human also.
Yes.
So how do you do that? How do you, besides this the engagement? I mean, how do you do it? I have a way I do it. I use stories.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. Leveraging storytelling is just an amazing way to do that. It's just a natural way of human communication. We like stories. We can retain stories a lot better in our head and remember things. And that's just how information spreads. It's not all facts and figures. So if you can be personal and don't be timid and always hide behind your company, but also share some personal information and share what's going on in your private life on social media, for example, is a great way to do that in your stories, and show just a human side of you and of your business. That's how you get that across. And telling your story and using storytelling is just a super powerful tool to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have your clients in doing more video?
Yes, that's what I'm encouraging right now. It's just the best medium to build rapport and to get that connection. If you get FaceTime with people and if you can't get real in person FaceTime with
Right.
people, like right now, the best thing that you can do is go on video, do live video, pre record your videos, and yeah, get into video marketing for sure.
Are you using Instagram for any of the video? I'm just curious.
Me personally, I'm not,
Okay.
but for the clients that use Instagram, obviously we're leveraging that too.
Yeah, I guess, it depends on what type of client they are as to whether or not Instagram is effective. Um,
Yeah, that's right. So my industry, digital marketing, it's not as visual and it's more B2B.
mhm.
So I'm using LinkedIn a lot. I'm using Twitter a lot. That's more like where my audience is on.
Very good. So, what if let's see if back in 2019 you'd have known about this pandemic was going to hit in 2020, what might you have done differently in 2019?
That's a great question. To be honest, we were in the perfect position when the pandemic hit because we're a remote run agency, so there's no office. Everybody has been working from home ever since,
Hmm.
and I've got the processes and systems in place and the right project management tools, so the communication is smooth as well. And yeah, we just limit the overhead and all unnecessary costs and put everything into the business and serving our clients. And yeah, the way that the organization has been set up from the get-go
Hmm.
was like ideal for what happened when the pandemic hit. So we didn't have to pivot as much. It's just different industries that have been benefiting and they've been growing since the pandemic, and different industries that have been hit really hard.
Right.
So yeah, we've adjusted the targeting a little bit and who we can help in the best possible way. And so, yeah, we were in a very fortunate and very lucky position being in digital marketing. Plus, the pandemic cost so many businesses
Mhm.
to need to build an online presence and get an online presence, which is what we do. So, yeah,
Very good. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. That you were already there. You already had everything set up. If you were already virtual in the first place.
exactly.
Yeah, we were that way here in my company for the most part. Everyone that works for me has been virtual for years and years. Um, the only thing that I guess was different is that we were still delivering some content in person through workshops and seminars and stuff like that. So my job now here personally is like, okay, let's get that online. So it's a matter
Mhm.
of creating videos and some training kinds of things. So which is a challenge. That's sort of fun. It's a new thing for me here. So, what are you proudest of so far? What makes you the proudest in your career?
I guess having figured out everything on my own and having taken the leap in the first place.
Hmm.
I've been procrastinating a lot. Yeah, I've struggled with my insecurities if I should, do it and go for it. And yeah, Dragon Digital Marketing, it started as a side hustle. So I did both. I've worked at a corporate job as a digital marketer as well. So that's like
Hmm.
my career, what I've been doing ever since. And yeah, so this year actually, is when I've started doing Dragon Digital Marketing full time and really focus on the agency and building that up.
Hmm.
And I'm just proud that I'm living the dream. And technically, I'm living the digital nomad lifestyle right now. I can't travel too much because of COVID, but yeah, just the freedom that I've achieved and that I'm really building something of my own
Yeah.
right now, something that I'm really proud of, and I'm a lot happier and much more fulfilled than I used to be.
Ah, that's fantastic. I mean, I love the fact that it was a side hustle to start with, and
Yes.
yeah, I mean that's just such a great story. And we're working on putting a book together right now that sort of talks about that very kind of thing. So it's a good way to start a business over the
Yes,
years.
it's a great way. It was too scary for me to just quit my job and go all in, but yeah, starting it as a side hustle is just a great way to start and see how things go, so you're not under it that much pressure.
Yeah, a friend of mine. We talked about this about a month ago. He had a full time job, and he also had a side hustle, a couple of them. He's a writer, so he was a corporate writer, But he always said, he said, I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket, because he had seen in the corporation over the years, one day someone walks in and says, we're cutting back, or we're going to outsource this, or who knows. So he actually, started these side hustles, and sure enough, when COVID hit, they said, okay, it's we have to cut back, and he was like, okay, and he pivoted,
Yeah.
yeah, and he's actually his new businesses are booming. He's got a couple. He's added some products. He sells products on Etsy of all places, and he really is enjoying himself. So it's the side
That's so
hustle.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great story. Yeah, that's really what a side hustle can do for you.
yeah. So, what do you think I'd ask you, what do you think is going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years? But what do you think isn't going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years when it comes
I
to marketing?
think that digital is going to continue to grow, and it's becoming more and more important, and people are kind of forced to trust it more and to adapt to it more. So I think a lot of things are just going to stay online and stay digital, and it's just going to advance technology a lot more. I think because of that huge demand, things are going to advance faster, and maybe technological developments like AR, VR, AI,
Mm,
whatever, that's going to get a lot better and a lot more advanced faster than it would have been going without COVID.
right.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that does advance. Um, yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about the idea of that changing that much, but it may. And one of the things we've been talking about, or I've been reading about too lately, is advertising, online advertising. There's like two camps out there right now. One camp says online advertising is worthless. It doesn't really pay what it costs. And the other side says no, it's fine. It's going to be good. It's just going to keep growing. So you've got been a couple books written on both sides of that thing. I'd like to get two people on here arguing one of these days about it. That'd be kind of fun. But
Yes.
what do you think? What do you think about advertising, especially Facebook advertising? Is it worth the money? Is it is it working?
Yes. So ads are just extremely hard to make profitable. We're operating on, super small margins here. And if you have a conversion rate between 1% and 3%, you're already doing great and above average. So that's just how everything has come through basically. And people are just bombarded with ads. Ads are everywhere. And I think that people are just also like a little bit fed up with all of those ads because they're salesy. And even though people love to buy, people don't like to be sold to. So the best way to go about it is to make your ads look as native as they possibly can to the platform to see better results. Ads can still be profitable and can still work really well for businesses if businesses have their buyer personas and their target audiences really figured out and they know exactly what they're doing, and especially businesses that have been in business for longer, for a couple of years in the past, and they've been able to get all that information and refine it. And so now it's just like a proven system. Like they know which headline works the best way and which visuals their audience responds to in the best possible way, and they just know their audience as well. So they know their conversion rate. So if they want to double their sales, they're just going to double their ad spend. And it's like this, automatic system, and it just works. But
Mhm.
for the businesses who haven't figured it out yet, the ones that are just starting out and just testing and not really, super clear about what they're doing, it's just, yeah, harder and harder. It gets more expensive over time. It's very competitive, and consumers like organic content a lot better.
Yeah. Well, I think, full circle from where we started, consumers are in charge. They're in charge. They're the marketing department now. So they can turn you off. They can, there's software, there's plenty of tech out there to stop ads. Um, I have a friend who runs a Raspberry Pi with some software in it that just absolutely crushes any ads that come through. And they can do that. So that's why, I mean, I think it goes back to that human thing again, where you've got to have that human connection in the stories, and they have got to want to be with you. They want to be part of your mission, part of your um, success. I think that's all important. So you said something about traveling a little while ago. I didn't want to let that go. So I think I read in your bio that you do a bit of traveling, have in the past.
Yes, I have traveled to 21 countries and counting so far. I really like traveling and just, going around, seeing other things, seeing different things, trying different food, getting to know different cultures. So that's something that I really, really like.
Yeah. So
And I'm looking forward to being able to do that again soon, hopefully.
yeah, and you speak a few languages too, which is great. So
Yeah. I grew up bilingual, so I grew up learning English and German, and I speak a little bit of French too. I learned French in high school,
oh,
but I'm
nice, nice.
fluent in English and German.
So I suppose everyone asks you what's your favorite country so far, or what the favorite place you visited.
Oh, that's a great question. No, actually, no one has asked me that so far. Wow, that's a great question. Um, all of them are just beautiful in their own way
Hmm.
and have beautiful aspects. So I couldn't like pick one right now.
Okay, I get that. I've done a bit of traveling too. I've been to over 50 countries and every continent except Antarctica. So, um,
Wow.
yeah, a little crazy. And people will say to me, "Well, so what's your favorite place you've ever visited?" I'm like, I can't answer that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
impossible to pinpoint.
yeah, yeah. They all have wonderful things about them. The people in some cases are. I could say, well, this particular country, I like the people better than I did in some other country, but this country has better scenery, and this country has better history, and it's just the whole thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. So what's something that I haven't asked you that I should have?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Is there anything else that your audience would like to know or that I can provide value on?
Well, my audience is there's a lot of small business people, and so they are always looking for ideas and tips on how to grow their own businesses, which
Mhm.
you've given us. Um, I think you've answered those questions pretty well. Um, I guess one thing that they might ask, because there's plenty of them out there that are in that position where you were, where they're thinking about starting something full time. So what was the fork in the road moment for you that made you make that decision over some other one?
Yes, I just figured that the best way to learn is learning by doing and just preparing in theory because I've been preparing a lot. I've been making my plans, right? I've been reading books. I went to business school as well for business administration and I've majored in marketing and I got all of that knowledge. And I was just always thinking, like, okay, one day I'll start my own business because I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit in me and I've just wanted that freedom of being my own boss and yeah, working according to my own timeline. And I figured that, and COVID proved that it's just the best thing to just do it and to figure it out along the way, so you get the real experience and you can learn by doing. And don't procrastinate. You only live once, and you can start your business as a side hustle. So you don't have to jump in the cold water and take all of the risk at once. So yeah, I would definitely encourage everybody to do that and yeah, do the same thing.
Yeah, the best day to start is today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one last question: if I were going to be starting this company, let's say I was starting from scratch, what's some of the best resources that I could find?
Right. I've personally looked at everything that I could possibly find. I've followed so many people and I've consumed their content and I've read blogs and I've bought books and I've followed YouTube channels, listened to podcasts to just get everything in and then get my inspiration from that, so to speak, and then make my own decisions. So, yeah, I guess there's no copy and paste template that you can take, but you can look at how other people are doing things and how it works for them and how that is related to what you want to do and your goals. Then think about how you can differentiate yourself. You always want to be different in some way, shape, or form, or want to be seen as a thought leader, and then get that information in. And there's a lot of authoritative yeah, resources out there. You can look at Digital Marketer, You can look at, depending on what you want to do in digital marketing. For example, Neil Patel and Brian Dean and Ryan Fishkin are great for SEO, and then other people are great for other things. So yeah, I guess Chris Davis is great for marketing automation. Really depends on where you want to go. Digital marketing is it's a broad field. It incorporates a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just look at what people are doing. If you Google it, you can find the most influential people. Seth Godin definitely is one of them too, that you've had on your podcast a couple of times now. And so many people. Who else can I name? Ann Handley for content marketing, for sure. Gary Vaynerchuk for social media marketing, right? So
A lot of them out there, huh? So I guess one last question. I'll say it again. If we were to have this conversation Christmas Eve next year, so what would the year have looked like for you? What would you have accomplished? What would be your proudest moment, do you think?
As hopefully, I've been able to help more small businesses grow and build an online presence and make it through those challenging times and be able to reach their customers and stay in touch with them and no longer be overwhelmed with software and technology, and just have all the right systems in place so they can always, reach who they want to reach, whether it's on social media or through email, building an email list, or having the website that they've dreamed of all of those years. So something like that, and hopefully that's gonna be a lot more people.
Great. I hope that goes that way for you. I think it will, as a matter of fact. I can tell.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here today.